So morning guys, welcome back to my channel. It's JVceo. If you're new to this channel, a big welcome. And for my returning subscribers, thank you and keep pushing, right? So today, in fact, there's a lot of businesses being started at the moment. I was at my brother's over the weekend and I was, in the mix of a few groups of friends and stuff. And, everyone had great news to share with me because I rarely come around these days. Some people are starting a food business, some people are starting a football academy and so on and so forth. And they were all picking my brains in terms of how to grow your business and how to get out of, that sort of almost like a ceiling in a sense. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do this video to share with you because I think lockdown has taught people a lot of things. Yes, we're coming off lockdown at the moment, but it's so important to start something on the side. Whether you want to call it a little side hustle or whether you want to call it an actual business, it's totally up to you. But it's important to start things on the side at the moment. So here is my 7 top tips to grow your business, to grow your small business into a medium-sized business that probably replaces your 9-to-5 income. So let's get going. So top tip number 1, circumvent your circle of friends. And I tell you that for probably 2 reasons or 3 reasons, right? Circumvent your circle of friends for 1 reason. They're simply not big enough. If you are starting a business and you're trying to create a business around your friends, around your family, it's just not big enough. How many friends and family do you have? Are you thinking about repeat customers? Or let's say, for example, you're selling a one-off item. Once they buy that, then what? If that makes any sense. That's 1 reason. Second reason is, I'll be honest with you, from my personal experience, you get better support from people outside your group of friends than at your actual friends and family. Because they sometimes, without no malice meant, they take you and your business for granted, whereas other people would actually embrace it a lot more. And number 3 is just, unfortunately, sometimes friends and families can be haters. And that's really it. So when you're trying to structure your business and when you're trying to build your business, just try and identify where where your audience are, or where your audience, or what your audience is to begin with, and target them. An example, myself, I'm on Snapchat, but I just generally live my life on Snapchat. I don't really promote any of my businesses on Snapchat. When I started a cleaning company, for example, I chose to go down the commercial route because I didn't really want to do a business that needed the support of my friends and so on and so forth, because I just couldn't count on it. With the commercial cleaning company, for example, there's no hating when it comes to corporate clients. You either get a good job done or you get a bad job done, and you get paid or you don't get paid. Simple. No drama to it. So that's number 1. Circumvent your circle of friends. And that leads me on to point number 2. Depending on what sort of business you're running, you honestly need to learn Facebook advertising. Facebook advertising is the biggest there is. So for some of you that probably do a bit around Instagram advertising and stuff, yes, you've got obviously you could boost your posts and so on and so forth. But if you actually go to the back end of Facebook marketing or Facebook advertising, it's so much detailed. If you have a website, for example, you could attach a pixel to your website. You could, target customers that are dropping out at the very end. Maybe they put their shopping in the basket, but they haven't gone all the way to close that sale or close that order. There's so many things you could do with that. It gives you so much information by the minute in terms of Facebook pixel. And Facebook advertising is a great tool. Think about how many billions of people are on Facebook. I'm sure, I can't remember the stats. I'll probably put it out there somewhere on my business Instagram. But I'm sure it's upwards of at least 1 billion people on Facebook. I'm positive of that, I would hope. It's the biggest marketplace. An example being, if you're trying to target, let's say, the younger people, you could do a Facebook ad and you could get your placement on Instagram and maybe Instagram stories. Whereas now, if you're trying to target, let's say, kids, the gatekeepers are obviously their parents and they're all on Facebook. So Facebook marketing is big. If you're a small business and you don't have a budget for Facebook marketing, you need to change that up now. Because I'll be honest with you, you can't scale your business, or you would struggle to scale your business unless you're doing some sort of Facebook marketing. And let me give you an idea. Let me break down some numbers to you. I have a business right now, right? that does around £10,000 a month, rough, anywhere from 8 to 11, but let's leave it at 10. It does around £10,000 a month. You would never see me promote this business. I just do Facebook marketing. I probably spend around £500 a month to £700 a month on advertising, and the business just does crazy numbers, and it's really off Facebook advertising. Sometimes I'm doing a split test. I'm changing the images from one ad to another, so I know what people respond to more. How many clicks am I getting? You know, how much am I paying per engagement? Facebook advertising is huge. I haven't promoted this business to no friends. I haven't promoted this business to no family. I've literally built it strictly off Facebook advertising. So if you are a small business, get on Facebook advertising immediately. And it gives you scalability. It gives you scalability. Think about it. If you're marketing to your friends and families and so on and so forth, there's no scalability in that. But once you get onto Facebook advertising, depending on your budget, you could reach a couple hundreds if you want. You could reach a few thousands or tens or hundreds of thousands if you want, depending on what your budget is. And you could start from as little as £5 a day, run it over 6 days, see what sort of responses you get from that, and take the learnings from that and tweak a few things here and there. So that's that for Facebook advertising. Now on to point number 3. Customer services, man. Customer services. I tell you what, I was having a conversation with someone a few months back, and I used to obviously work at a senior leadership level, and I said to the person, I think it's so important, it is so important that people have a working background before they actually dive into business. The reason being, it teaches you one thing in particular, especially if you've worked retail, right? It teaches you customer services. Honestly, you could have the greatest product, you could have the best marketing. By the way, these all work hand in hand, right? But you can have the greatest product, the best marketing, and with poor customer services, you're probably going to fail. The reason being, a lot of us that are running these businesses, we're not a big company. Mate, even if you're turning over $1 million a year, you're a relatively small company. You're not too big to fail. You're not an Amazon. You're not Apple. Apple can do whatever they want. I can go into an Apple shop, they can give me the worst customer services, but unfortunately, the way they've structured their business and just, you know, the wider reputation they have, I'd probably go back to Apple, unfortunately. Whereas now, if I deal with a small business and they get it wrong once, that might be the lifeline for them. Like, I might never actually choose to patronize that particular business. Customer services on its own can grow your business tremendously. I get from a couple of the companies that I run, I have a lot of referrals simply of people just genuinely, you know, wanting to work with me because they've heard, oh, JV is great, he's fantastic, like he's so engaged, he's so thorough, he's so transparent, he's just a breath of fresh air. And people are like, you know what, that's someone I'll work with. And obviously at the same time, when you then make certain mistakes, they're able to look past that because they know you have the best intentions for them, but also they know that your service is great and probably unmatched amongst your other competition. And think about it, if you don't give them a great service, someone else will. So customer service is huge for me. For me, right, customer service is really your brand, right? It's an extension of your personality. An example being, I'm really bubbly and stuff. So when I get on the phone to clients, or when I meet clients face to face, I'm really bubbly, I'm energetic, and they love that. You know, I'm very polite. If you know me on a personal basis, you would know I'm super polite. You know, I'm like, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Excuse me, please. You know, these are things that would go a long way for you. Your emails, get onto your emails immediately. You know, don't wait a week to reply to clients and so on and so forth. So that's number 3, customer service. Fix your customer service and you would fix your business. It's really that simple. Number 4, I've kind of touched upon already within customer service, is basically your business is an extension of your personality. So a lot of times when I go onto some business pages and stuff, I see a lack of personality. It's so bland. You know, I was actually criticizing a friend's business over the weekend, and it's so bland. It's so repetitive in terms of the post, and I can't see the personality shine through. So you've got to remember, people buy from people. It's really that simple. There's that saying, literally, people buy from people. And you probably have heard of that saying if you've worked in a sales environment, which I have worked in. And I can tell you 100% it's so true. So make sure that your business exemplifies your actual personality. Don't be bland. Don't try and be so super professional that you lose that personal touch, because that personal touch, believe it or not, is what gets clients or what brings customers to your business. So make sure your business is an extension of your personality. Now, on to point number 5. Right, this is a pretty straightforward one. You need to build your digital asset. And what do I mean by your digital asset? I'm talking about your followers on Instagram. I'm talking about your email marketing, your email list. It's massive. Like, I've run a few businesses over the years, and I have a platform where I collate all the emails, again, legally, and permission being taken from the clients to share it amongst my businesses and so on and so forth. But I have that, and listen, I can't tell you how important it is. So let's say, for example, I've got, let's say, 10,000 emails right now, and I choose to launch a new business tomorrow. Automatically, let's say if it's an e-commerce business, for example, that's 10,000 customers I can potentially market it to. And even if I don't get the sale directly from them, they can probably extend that marketing to their friends and families. So it's so important to grow your digital asset. We're in an era where the next wave of millionaires will be made online. So whether it's, like, for example, you guys watching this video, you're part of my digital asset. We're one family, because you're watching my videos. I've got the subscribers on here. I'm very engaging on Snapchat when I can, even though I'm rarely on it. Follow me, JVceo. I'm super engaged on the email side of things. In terms of my business Instagrams, I'm super engaged on that. I'm working on a personal brand, because I've never been so big on Instagram before. I've only got on Instagram this year, because I understood the importance of growing my digital asset, and that's what I'm doing. Then I've got my Facebook. I've been doing a 25 press up over 25-day challenge for mental health, men's mental health, basically encouraging guys to talk. And every evening I'll put up a video on Facebook of me doing the press ups, and I'd nominate someone else. And it's so incredible the amount of engagement I've had since I've been doing that. Again, that's growing my digital asset. So now in future, if I choose to put a product or a service on Facebook, I would get a lot of response from it, because I'm growing my digital asset. But anyways, that's enough around digital asset. Let's go on to point number 6. This is more geared towards people that are already making money in their business, and they have some sort of business running. You need to automate the process. I know about this because I'm doing it myself. I think a lot of times, I talk about this a lot, right? Maintenance tasks versus performance enhancement tasks. And I think a lot of times, as little business or small business owners, should I say, we get caught up with maintenance tasks. Maintenance tasks are things like just generic emails, admins, and so on and so forth. They don't really grow your business. They keep everything running and it keeps it afloat, but it doesn't really elevate your business. Whereas now, performance enhancement tasks would be picking up the phone and following up on those leads, would be, shooting that ad campaign, would be brainstorming that new marketing campaign that you want to roll out. These are things that actually grows your business. And also what you notice is when you clutter your day with maintenance tasks, it leaves you little time to actually do things that will grow your business. And that's why a lot of small businesses end up getting stagnated. It's easy to scale, or it's easy to start a business that makes £3,000 to £5,000 a month. But now, how do you take that to the next level? The next level is to maybe take it to 10,000, 15,000 a month. But if you're always caught up with the maintenance tasks and so on and so forth, then it's impossible to grow it from that stage. So my recommendation would be automate the process. I'll give you an example. Perhaps you should schedule in your Instagram posts and your Facebook posts so it's automated. Get it all done in one day. Like an example being, over the weekend, I design all my sort of social media posts across all the platforms. That's one. Another one being, you could check out Upworks, for example, for virtual assistants. So maybe you need a virtual assistant to take your phone calls and deal with like customer services and so on and so forth. That sort of stuff. You can train them into doing it as good as you want it, as you want them to. And you could even have a script as well and so on and so forth. So that's what you do. And then it frees you up to actually go out there and drive for new business. So that's how you improve your small business, by focusing on performance enhancement tasks rather than maintenance tasks, which in essence means automating your business. And that's really it. Now on to the last point. Thank you. If you're still here, make sure you smash out the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Drop me comments. If you have any video suggestions, put that in the comment section. I usually read through it and I reply to all the comments as well. On to number 7. This sort of links back to the marketing point I spoke about, or it's actually no, the first point I said, which is starting a business around your friends and family. This is slightly different. You need to know your customers or your clients. So I speak to a lot of business owners, and one of the first questions I would ask them is, who's your client? And they just, like, they don't know. Who's your client? Ask yourself that question. You got a food business, who's your client? It's not just good enough telling me, oh, just one of the man then. No, it's not good enough. Who's your client? What's their age range? What's their earning potential? What's their salary? What's their salary bracket? Know your customer, know your client. That's the only way you can, quote unquote, hunt them down and present your business in front of them. If you don't know your client, you can't grow your business. An example being, you could think your clients are on, again, like I said, relates back to the marketing point. You could think your clients are on Snapchat, but really and truly they're on Twitter. You could think your clients are 18 to 25, but really and truly they're 24 to 28. You know, and these are the little things that if you do get wrong, you know, you'd probably waste the first 2 years, 3 years, waste a lot of money only to come to that realization. So when you do your stuff or when you're trying to, you know, brainstorm new ideas for your business, make sure alongside that you understand who your clients are. And one bonus point for those of you that watched up until this point, this is for those of you that haven't started a business. Before you start a business, if you want that business to grow, make sure you have a business plan. Make sure the business plan has a 3-year projection, and make sure you work and adjust the business plan as time goes on. There's so many people who just run off. They start a business plan. There's no thought behind it. There's no process behind it. There's no planning behind it. I just want to tell you that there's a potential, a high potential that you probably will fail. And I'm not saying this to you because I want you to fail. I'm just saying this to you because you failed to plan. And you heard the saying, fail to plan to fail. That's it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Seriously, I appreciate a lot of you on here. To the new subscribers, welcome. Let's get some new contents out. New contents out all the time. I should be closing on the properties very soon. It's just been so long, you know, with just everything being closed and it's just dragged on. I'm hoping to start the renovation work on one of them immediately, so I'll be keeping you in the loop with that. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Keep growing the channel. Let's see where we get to. All right. Have a great week and see you next Sunday at 6 p.m.